Hello and welcome. Welcome to Dadland. How's everybody doing? You ready? I'm the dad now. I'm the dad. It's time, and you know what? You are dad too. Today we are all dads together, and it's going to be a beautiful experience. And we're going to make sure that little girl's nice and safe. And going to take care of her, make sure she has a happy childhood, make sure she's safe and happy. And thank you very much for being here. We are dads. I am dad. You are dad. This is a very special dad stream today. Going to get a little bit of pump in while we go. I'm going to get really strong, just like Daddy Joel. And we're going to make sure that girl is safe. Gotta get pumped. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, look at that. Look at it. It's a Julio Iglesias shirt. We got Julio Iglesias. We got a, how much does this weight? Got a 25-pound dumbbell. Gonna get pumped. You guys, you dads out there, you getting pumped or what? Oh, fuck yeah. Let's go. Dads, yes. Okay. Whew. Is this doing something for you? Is this like is there a subgenre here? Is this, do I need to change the title of the video? Do I have to make it a pool stream? You know? Ugh. Let's get Dad. Okay, let's go. This is actually hard. I don't do this a lot. Ugh. Okay, so today we're going to be playing The Last of Us. And enjoyed a little pump moment. Just trying my best to remember what it is to use my body for things. And yeah, I don't usually use my body for much, so it's been a real treat for me. It's been hopefully a treat for you. Thank you, Ibuki. Thank you for the resub. It's been 4 months. Congratulations. We did it, everyone. It's been technically 5 months, but here we are, almost at my half-year celebration. I don't know what we'll do for 6 months, but something special. Passion, thank you for the resub with Prime. You're still here. Okay. Well, thank you. Juniper Jupy, thank you for the resub. Sora, thank you for the resub. I'm going to get to that ASMR surprise in a second. I just have to catch my breath. Cece, thank you for the resub. Rachel, welcome back, Rachel. Hello again for another month here, Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. Let's give a shout out to Rachel in the chat and to our other mods as well who are here. Thank you very much for being here on zero notice yet again. I'm a very bad boss. I'm a very unreliable leader of this situation. So I really appreciate you sticking with me for all of my bullshit. So thanks. Slam Dead, thank you for the sub. And welcome in, everyone. Okay, let's check it out. What do we have today so far? So shirt of the day was redeemed, I think. And let's take a look at that reward queue. Oh, so we got the Go Sip Girl from Kelly. Thank you, Kelly. You know, I actually don't have my Sip Girl with me. Here's my thing. Hold on, let me just get my sip. Here's my little sip girl. Thank you very much. Stay hydrated, chat. And then we have the ASMR surprise from I'm a Dragnell to start it off. It's about time to do that. So what should we do today? What should we do for the ASMR surprise? I could go back to grapefruit, but I feel like we've been doing that a decent amount, so. Okay. Is that good? I don't know. It's a flip book, but I'm gonna. I'll read something as well. But look at this flip book. Look how fun this is. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, okay, never mind. All right, let's do grapefruit. See if we can find a good one. Okay. Here we go. Okay. This is a reading from Grapefruit by Yoko Ono. And this is a piece called Daisy Talk. Daisy Talk. The weight of a daisy is 2 pounds less than your brains. 100 pounds plus a wind. 3 feathers. A drop of your mother's tear. 5 billion pounds minus the sea. And that was Daisy Talk by Yoko Ono. Let's get one more for the. Our nails match today, Rachel. Really, it is. I like the nails. I'm worried that they're gonna be gone soon. I mean, I like to let them run their course, but I might do red. It's actually been a while since I've done nails. I can't really be doing acting while I have it unless it calls for it. So I often don't do it, but I did it for Halloween and it's stuck. Okay, so let's do one more. Wink talk. An intensity of a wink is 2 cars smashed head on. A storm turned into a breeze. A water drop from a loose faucet. All right, that was Wink Talk. This has been an ASMR reading of Grapefruit by Yoko Ono. I hope that you enjoyed your ASMR surprise. And I hope that you perform one of those pieces on your own time. Pikachu, thank you for the resub. Optimus, thank you so much for the resub. Let's go. It's a subbing contest, says Optimus. Let's see who can sub the longest. I think that's a great idea for a competition. Rachel, thank you so much for the gift sub to Geek Spider. Ashes Plus, thank you for the resub. It is dad time. We got a shirt of the day from Hellfire Babe. Shirt of the day today is Julio Iglesias. This is my favorite dad. He is, I think, one of the best dad musicians there is. Whenever I listen to Julio Iglesias, I just think about being a father later in life on a Sunday afternoon, listen to Julio and tidying up the apartment, and my kids come in and they go, Dad, stop listening to this boring old dad music. And I say, children, you don't understand. You don't understand how nice Julio Iglesias' voice makes me feel. And you also don't understand that the first time I ever listened to Julio Iglesias was in an Uber crossing the Manhattan Bridge on ecstasy at 5 a.m. And I'll never forget that. That was the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced. And I'll never forget it. And that is why I will always love Julio Iglesias. And so it is the best dad music. And that's why I'm wearing this t-shirt. All right, we're going to get started today on The Last of Us. Let's see, I got to plug in this controller is dead. Oops. Oh no. Oh, please. Thank you for the don't do drugs, kids. That's right. It's true. I'm not endorsing illegal drugs. Merit is correct. I wouldn't ever do that. But if you did have to use drugs, make sure they're the fun kind and make sure that they are clean. Don't do bad drugs, everybody. Test your drugs. Make sure it's, test them. They sell test kits. Be careful of the bad stuff. And don't ever use opiates. That's my tip for the day. That's my dad. This has been my drug talk. This has been my it's been my drug talk of the day. Posture check from Brazilian Girl. Thank you. All right. And I'm gonna jump into The Last of Us Part 1. And let's see. All right. I do think that's, I don't know. I think that drug talks that are just like, don't do all drugs and all drugs are exactly the same. I think that's very irresponsible. I think if you give a drug talk to a kid that's like, never try pot or heroin, and they try pot and it's not a big deal. And then what are they left with? What's their impression, Not a good way to go about it. Passion, I didn't say that I jumped over yet. Don't worry. I was just turning on the game. And now we're here. But also you're right, and I deserve a little roast. Thank you for roasting me. To all my mods who enjoy roasting me. You're the glue that keeps this community together. Is this gonna do this again? That this game isn't gonna work again? Fuck. Remember when this happened? I should have checked it. I should have checked this. Okay, hold on 1 second. Deactivate and activate. Give me that. Give me it. Is Elgato a bad company?
Oh, now I'm not talking, bitch.
Shit. I'm really glad I added that. I forgot about that. Coco spooked me. 1 second, everyone. Hold on. Let's see if I can get. Okay. I can't believe Elgato just keeps letting me down. Let's see. Can I get a PlayStation on here? Oops. Okay. Everyone keep enjoying this beautiful jazz music while I figure out what the fuck is going on with my PS5. Passion, thank you. Yeah, I have the boom arm too, and I like the green screen. And Elgato, if you do want to sponsor me, I'll stop disparaging your name in public. I promise. Let's see. And thank you also to Psycho-san for the resub, and oh hey, it's Sean. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for supporting me, supporting this channel. Very glad to have you here. Let's And now that, by the way, I mean, so now that spooky season's over, technically, I am ready to move on to some less spooky games. However, also, spooky season never ends. So I'm gonna finish at Dead of Night at some point soon. Gotta finish Last of Us, obviously. And yeah, there's a few others that I've been wanting to do. The other oh, here we go. Okay. Been wanting to do the what's it called? The other chill as art games like the bathhouse and Cool Grim. I'm the first person you've subbed to. Thank you so much. That's such an honor. And thank you very much for subbing with that Bezos money. Love that. I'm sure Daddy Bezos loves it even more. And the game just cut out, huh? Didn't it? Do I have to fix that thing again, don't I? Sub anniversary, the message goes right here and I see it. That's the answer. So I guess I'm having the same problem that I had last time, which was in the options. I try to remember, it was in the display. Performance. Let's see. Yeah, I changed it to 1080p, but I haven't changed it back, so I'm really wondering why this is doing this to me. Bear with me, everybody. Yeah, it's set to 1080p. Ugh. Why? Thank you, Optimus. Yeah, you can, anyone, if you want to email Insane Aroma for business inquiries, please. What the fuck? This is crazy. I really don't know why. It's showing up on my screen and just not on stream. And this is classic. This is such classic shit, y'all. I love it. It's hilarious. Okay. Give me a sec. What's HDMI device link? Does that have anything to do with it? No. It really should be screen and video.
Go for it. You guys can do it.
Okay, well that worked. 2160 or not? What? Ugh. I'm so sick of this shit. Okay, 1080p. Is that working? Now I'm not seeing anything on screen. Jeez Louise. I swear I was just the other day we were playing the quarry and I was doing it on here and there was no problem. There's no problem at all, in fact. Very strange. I'm really glad that you all appreciate my struggle. Obviously, next time I have to prepare the game ahead of time. I'm just confused because I didn't change anything. Well, thank you for bearing with me. I'm just going to reset my PlayStation, and while I'm doing that, please enjoy this performance of Crazy Ken singing his hit song, Towel.
Thank you.
Okay, you're not gonna believe this. My Stream Deck is now freezing out. Like literally everything is breaking all at once. My PlayStation, I cannot even get to display on my monitor at this point. It's all falling apart. I was so excited. I shouldn't have started the stream by lifting that weight. Oh, here comes the PlayStation's coming back. I should have known that if I was cosplaying a dad, that I would not know how technology works, that would be a big part of this cosplay that I'm doing today. Okay, well, looks like it's kind of coming back. I truly have no idea what that was, but look, here we are. We're here. We're going to our settings. We're looking at the system. It's 1080. It is, does this have anything to do with it? Maybe off that? I don't know. Maybe, maybe we, and then then there was the HDMI thing, right? It was like this thing. HDCP is off. And then this is it. I mean, this is very dad, though, right? Like, this is more dad of me to do it this way. So watch. Let's see what happens when you press let's play. And is it gonna work? Was it that refresh rate thing? Oh! All right, everybody, thank you for bearing with us. It has been a modest 30 minutes of intentional technical difficulties. This is my brand, and it's what people come here to see. So I hope that you all enjoyed that, and let's keep this rocking. Okay, here we go. We got it to work. Look, it's me. It's Daddy Joel. There you go. Look at that. Is everyone happy? I'm happy. Oh, you know what? Let me turn up the game. I turned it down when we were playing Fall Guys. Thank you, Dreamer Money. Thank you so much for the gift subs. We love you here, Money. Let's all give a big shout out to Money today. I hope that you're doing all right, Money, after the last time I heard from you. So just sending you lots of love. Everyone, please do that as well.
She usually pull these stunts.
I'm not gonna call you Moni today.
What's going on?
30 minutes did not happen. Thank you, Francesca. You're right. 30 minutes did not happen. This is the first. I just started streaming. Just now. And this is the first time I just started streaming. Just now. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. It's Daddy Joel time.
No, she didn't go down this way.
Oh. Hi, Lou. Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad to be getting back on stream for a little bit. We're gonna be doing a
What are you thinking?
radio show tomorrow, everyone. In case you didn't know, we're gonna be doing a Radio Tyso with Cole and Fernelli, and it's gonna be lovely.
There, more tracks.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. It'd be nice if you're ready to. Anyone wants to, you know, clean your room, do some drawing, do some pissing and shitting,
Let's go.
Gonna listen to some music while you're shitting and farting. Do you want to listen to some music while you draw a portrait of me and Daddy Joel riding a horse together, and I'm sitting behind him, and I'm saying, "Thank you, Daddy Joel, you're doing such a good job of riding this horse." Oh, jeez. Oh, no. That wasn't zombies, was it? Oh, jeez. These are guys.
Too goddamn many.
Okay. What's this guy gonna come over here? Fuck. Come on, guy. Jeez Louise. Oh my god. He came over. I forgot that these people try to kill me. Ah, it's so annoying. Look, I'm the dad. You're gonna shoot at me? I'm gonna wait for you to pop up. I'm gonna shoot you in the head. I'm gonna wait for you to pop up. I'm gonna shoot you in the head as soon as you do it. Oh, there's a guy over there. Ooh, shit, I didn't see that guy. Ooh, yikes. Okay, I guess I gotta be a little more smart about this, or a little quick. Gotta just... Ooh, headshot. Can we get a counter? Thank you very much. Ooh. Oh, man, another one of those. Don't want that. Okay. Yeah, like I kind of can game sometimes. Like, yeah, pop out, pop out, pop out. No? Oh shit, missed him. Okay. What happened? Oh, he shot his friend, I see. Okay. Oops. Oops. I gotta heal. Oops.
Okay, go. Watch my back.
Let's use the shorty.
Look out!
That was messy. That's very messy. Okay, let's get one of these. Get some of these bullets. Oh, this gun.
Get out here, you son of a bitch!
Okay, don't call me names. Oh shit.
There you are.
Ow. Okay, thanks, friend. Wow, I forgot how to play this game. Okay. Yikes.
Come on, back to the horses.
Ouchibachi, you can listen to the stream tomorrow while laying face down in a ditch. It might make you want to move a bit though, is the only thing. And so if you want to stay in the ditch, I don't necessarily recommend it because it might make you want to leave the ditch. You can listen while you cry in your room, but again, it's not gonna be very emo music. I do love emo music, but I think tomorrow's gonna be more of like a celebration of the end of the good weather and you know, not really, the intent is not to make you feel crushed by the weight of the impending winter. It's more about trying to have a nice Sunday. So if you want to be crushed by the winter season approaching, then I don't know if I can recommend it. I gotta get the horses, huh? Okay, fuck. What about that? Come on, Joel, move faster. Come on. So my sweet little girl is missing. And we're waiting for her to appear. Ooh, gotta take one of those. Okay, let's swap this with this. Where's my horsey? Oh.
Come.
Okay, dokie. I have to do some professional gaming here.
Tracks keep going this way. Just hope they didn't get to her.
Let's see. Okay.
Get them.
This is making me want to play Red Dead. Should I do that, by the way? Is there a market on here for me this winter, just like hanging out and being the cowboy? Be the cowboy. It's a great game. I haven't played, I never actually finished Red Dead 2. I've always wanted to get back into it. I don't know what it's like, I guess. Like, I honestly, because I didn't really know much about Twitch before I started streaming, I don't really know how much desire there is to play old games. But considering this one is a pretty old game, I guess it's a remaster, but this is, everyone's been really enjoying these streams, so might as well jump back into some old stuff. Oh, I can wear a cowboy hat, money, for sure. I can definitely, I have a few.
Be careful.
Ellie?
The bad guys in here?
Ellie! Christ.
I'll keep an eye out. Reckon you guys need to have a chat.
Where's my little girl? I need to talk to her about dangers of the world. I need to keep her safe and protected. But maybe I also have something to learn about letting go of my grip a little bit, because that's the nature of oh wow, I'm full. Do this. Wow, this axe is gonna be really dangerous. What do we? People are talking about there's a scene coming up. No spoilers. Don't tell me if there's gonna be a scene or not. Ellie, I love you, and we got a lot of talk. I was worried sick about you, but also I gotta make sure I pick up enough of these rags and duct tapes. Need to make sure I have all the duct tapes, all the rags.
Is this really all they had to worry about? Boys, movies, deciding which shirt goes with which skirt.
That's not what she's into.
Get up. We're leaving. Come on.
And if I say no?
Uh-oh.
Do you even realize what your life means? Huh? Running off like that, putting yourself at risk? It's pretty goddamn stupid.
Well, I guess we're both disappointed with each other then.
Why are you disappointing me?
Admit that you wanted to get rid of me the whole time.
Tommy knows this area.
Oh,
better
fuck
than...
that.
Well, I'm sorry. I trust him better than I trust myself.
Stop with the bullshit. What are you so afraid of? That I'm gonna end up like Sam? I can't get infected. I can take care of myself.
How many close calls have we had?
Well, we seem to be doing all right so far.
And now you'll be doing even better with Tommy.
Joel? What?
Not her, you know.
What?
Ooh.
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie?
And
You are treading on some Mighty thin ice here.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel, but I have lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared.
That's my girl.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad.
Give me control of the scene.
And we are going our separate ways.
No.
Get it together. We're not alone.
Give me the control. Let me choose the dialogue choices. What are you talking about? What the fuck, Joel? God damn. Oh, now I gotta kill people again. Men. It's such bullshit.
I got nothing over this way. Here either.
Oh, you got nothing? Let me just grab you. Hi. Hello. Oops, you saw me. Dude, you cannot run up on me like that. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? Come on.
Oh, now I'm not joking, bitch.
Thank you. Yes, me too. I can't believe that shit with Joel. Like, come on, Joel. Come on. No, I don't want the machete. I have an axe. Thank you for the posture check, Demenda. Okay. Are there more bad guys in here or what? Ah! Okay, let's play that game. Fuck you. Like what? Like, fuck you. Throwing shit at me. Piece of shit. Any other guys over this way? No. Throwing your little dust bag at me. Hello. Oh, I fucked that up. Oops, sorry. Oops, my bad. Yeah, I know. My bad. Sorry. Okay, well, at least I killed that guy.
All right. House is clear.
At least I killed this guy. Oh man, he's really dead. I feel, I do like the part of The Last of Us 2 where they're like really humanized and the whole thing is so brutal.
Let's get back to the horses.
I kind of wish that this had done that as well, but I guess that's, like, I don't like feeling so good about the violence. But that being said, I do love being a pro gamer. Pro just shooting people in the face. Impressing all my internet friends.
Got it.
But, these guys eat people. I'm not going to start playing Call of Duty. Like, I'm not going to... I mean, I could start playing Call of Duty if you wanted me to just deliver, like, a treatise on United States imperialism and laugh about it, but that's another option. Thank you, Midnight Cat, for the resub. Triceramisu, thank you for the resub. Dame Choco, thank you for the resub. Money, thank you for the gift sub to Hello, I Am Mickey. Omi, thank you for the resub. 5 months, wow. We're doing it. God, this game is sad. Fuck me. I don't want
There she is.
to. Oh, this is nice.
Kids will be watching movies tonight.
Where is this lab of theirs?
It's all the way out, University of Eastern Colorado.
Go Bighorns. Ellie, get off your horse. Give it on back to Tommy. I'm gonna hang on to this fella, if that's all right with you. Go on, don't make me repeat myself.
What are you doing?
Your wife kind of scares me. I don't want her coming after me.
Sorry for stealing your horse.
Look, come back to town. Let's discuss it at least.
You know me, my mind's all made up.
That's my girl.
University, Eastern Colorado.
Good. I don't.
Find this lab.
It's
Why
on
was
the
Joel
science building.
playing like
Looks
that?
like a giant mirror. You can't miss it.
Take care of that wife of yours.
There's a place for you here.
All right, I'm the dad now. Thank God I'm the dad. Okay, good.
Adios, little brother.
Okay. Dad, let's go.
Okay, let me see if I get this straight. If you mess up your fourth down, then you give the ball to...
Oh, she's learning about football. Let's go. Football.
And if
Okay.
you clear the 10 yards, then you're back at...
First down, that's right.
Yeah, I'm dad. I'm dad.
Hey, you just gotta play it a couple times. It all makes sense.
Fuck. Alright, I'm dad. I'm dad. I'm dad. I love the Telltale games. I played Walking Dead is my favorite. It's my other favorite game about zombies and fatherhood. And it's one of my favorites ever. And then I also love The Wolf Among Us.
None of these
I played them all.
Well,
But I would
center
revisit
grounds.
them.
Should be able to see most of the campus from there. Let's go.
Can I hop? Nice.
That's a giant ram. You guys were like some idol worshippers.
When it came to sports, hell yeah. Come on.
It's getting chilly.
It's that time of year.
I have played What Remains of Edith Finch. I've played like just about all the.
Is that it?
It does look like a giant mirror.
I've played a lot of the those kinds of story games. They're my favorite.
All right, come on.
But Last of Us, I mean, this is my favorite, really, though. Like, this is
Come on.
the most incredible combination of gameplay and storytelling. Where am I going? Through here?
How many people you think are there? Fireflies, I mean.
I reckon it takes quite a crew to run that operation.
You think there'll be other people my age?
I'm not sure. Stay, Callis.
Oh, Firewatch is amazing. I played Firewatch right after I got out of a relationship. Fuck
Stay
me
with
up.
the
All
horse.
right,
I'll go check.
but this is we're.
Yes.
How about we
Don't
play The
worry,
Last
I'm
of
running
Us? How about that?
I'll be right back.
Let's play The Last of Us instead. Or what do we got? Runners?
See, someone jerry-rigged this thing.
Uh-oh. Nice. Okay. Generators upstairs. Okay, got a flamethrower. Okay, okay. Oh. Seems like there's a lot of these people in here. Use like a brick or a bottle right now. Should I flamethrow these guys? What's the idea of this level design? Is this what they want me to do? After they gave me that thing? I don't know, I'll just wait for this guy and I'll ask him a question. Hi. Hi, hi, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Oops, battery's low. Alright. Thank you for the black day. Okay, there's a bad guy here. Okay, let's get a... Wow, this person can't even see me. She's so wrapped up in her own world, you know? She's just... Everyone's just looking at their phones these days, you know? Oops. Okay, so if you use the bow, is it not a guarantee that you can get the thing back, I guess? Huh. Alright. Hello. Hi. You gotta stop looking at your phone. Got some flamethrower.
That's that.
Alright, that was fun. All those people are dead now. Before they were alive and trapped inside of their minds. They couldn't get out there. They were aware, but the mushroom was inside their brain, making them violent. Now you are free. Now you are free to be dead. Now you are free to be dead. And I am the dad now. This is my little girl and my horse, and we've got to take her to the fireflies.
I was thinking
When we get there, we'll
I
see
would've
how
wanted to be
that
an
goes.
astronaut.
Let's
That's a
hope
fact.
it's fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna
being
take
a
this
girl by
girl
yourself.
to the fireflies, and then we're gonna save the world when they find out what's inside of her blood that's making her invulnerable to this disease. Okay. What's good? Can I gotta, how do I dismount? Okay.
I'll stay with Cal.
I hate that name.
What about you? What'd you want to be?
Well, when I was a kid, I used to want to be a singer.
Me too, Joel.
Shut up.
No, serious.
Sing something.
No,
Come on, I won't laugh.
I don't think so.
Joel, please.
Joel, sing.
Aw, are those monkeys?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
mess of 'em.
Wow, it's monkeys. Look at that.
Pick up.
Let's chase the monkeys. Come on. Can we be friends or no?
That was kind of awesome.
First time seeing a monkey?
First time seeing a monkey.
Yeah, it's her first time seeing a monkey. There are no zoos in the quarantine zone.
Should we have seen someone by now?
Maybe these guys like to keep a low profile.
Yeah. Maybe.
I got a bad feeling about
This
this.
is good. First sign of fireflies.
Come on. Get him.
Alright, where do we go? Come on. This way, maybe? No, that's backtracking. Gosh. Rachel, you were a horse girl in another life? How many horse girls do we have in the chat? How many horse girls we got in here? I have an affinity for horse girls. I mean, I've only really known one, but a very dear friend. Okay, what's going on?
All right, let's try that gate.
Oh, I see. I gotta do that. Okay.
I'll be right back.
I'll be here. There it is.
Figures.
This won't budge.
There's another generator.
I'm gonna have to use that. Megs, I appreciate that. It's like real
Looks like they
recognize
rigged this
real,
up as
right?
well.
So close. Watch yourself.
You too.
Any bad guys in here? I can't hear you. If you're naughty, please make a sound so I can hear you. No? Okay. Getting slammed here. Must beef up the barricades. Anyone in chat want to get slammed by Daddy Joel? Or are you gonna beef up your barricades? Mods, am I correct? Was there a mod poll a minute ago? Did I miss that? Did we miss that? Were you working on it? Okay, got it. Okay. Try in here. I got a rag. Love a rag. Get some pills. Damn. You look at that. Stargazer. Oh wow, like this little like Princess Mononoke adjacent poster. All right, let's see. Damn, college kids with guns only in America. All right.
Damn it, spores.
Oh no. Oh shit. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Oh my god, fuck. Oh, really? Okay, well let's just do this then. Oh fuck, there's one of those guys? God damn it. Okay, I'm sneaking. Oh shit. Okay. I really don't like this. I really don't like this. Why did I jump down here? Did I have to? Oh god. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, this is scary. Should I just kill this guy or no? I have full ammo. I don't know. Okay, there's a... Is Miles' dad enough? Oh god, I gotta look at this pole, but I can't fucking... Not right now. Oh my god, can I get a fucking brick or a bottle up in here? Shit. Oh god. Okay. Let's see, am I dad enough? Let me check that real quick. 5 votes for no. Not with the bandana. Oh, okay. Well, my hair was wet. So, I don't know what you wanted me to do. Get my headphones
You guys
all
can do it.
soggy. Oh no. Oh god. Oh god, please don't look at me. Please don't look at me. Please don't look at me. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh my... Oh god, he heard me? Fuck me. Oh god. Okay, 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 okay. Where are you? Okay. Oh my god. God, I fucking hate this guy. Okay. Oh shit! Wrong way! Oh, fuck. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Sorry, sorry, sorry. It's just you're trying to kill me. Oh god. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Where are you going? Coming this way? Okay, let's go. Give him the slip. Oh, fuck me. Oh, that's like toxic, isn't it? Oh shit. Oh god, 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 oh god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh fuck. Okay, okay. I didn't... Oh shit. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't do anything to hurt you? Eat shit and die. You are free to be dead now. Okay. Alright, well, that worked. Some more ammo. Yeah, I just killed a bloater with bullets. Is that not normal? Did I not? Is that not? Did I not do a good job? Do I get like a W? I get some W's in the, is that what I get? Like a W in the chat for that kind of thing? I guess I'm seeing some pro gaming in the chat. Seeing some people who are saying that I'm great and that I should be proud of myself. People are telling me that they're proud of me. Oh, I don't mind, dude. I don't mind. You can take as long as you want, Joel. I just killed all of the bad guys and I didn't even get hurt once. So I think we're good, actually, Joel. You don't need to worry about making noise.
I should hold.
Should hold, but like, there's no need to, because they're all dead. They're all free to be dead now. I will use the flamethrowers. Actually, that's a great idea, Reina. I don't know if I need to though because of the skill that I have. Do I need to up the difficulty, chat? Uh-oh, Steve Harvey's here. Steve, I love you. I love your show. I love your mustache. Watching a lot of Family Feud lately. Love the way that you react to people's comments about sexual situations. Steve, thank you for being here. Steve Harvey, we love you. Alright, let's move this over here. What am I supposed to do? Is this close enough? There we go. Okay. All right, and Trice Remisu, thank you for the gift sub to Francesca Bruno. Thank you very much. Welcome in. I hope you enjoy your new emotes, Francesca. Let's go, Dad. Okay, here we go. Beautiful.
Let's try the gate.
Yeah, I think that you're right, Money. I think we should have a toilet potty break. That was a good. This is probably a good time for that, actually. Cheers, Paulina. Please enjoy that. Enjoy that bowl. And I'm gonna take a little while you do that as well. It's time for us to take a quick little toilet potty break, and we'll be back with some more Daddy Joel. And yeah, Optimus, great idea. Pissing contest. Let's see who can piss the farthest. So everyone comment your piss distance in the chat, and it'll be really fun. See you all soon.
All right, it's me. I'm back. It's everybody's favorite piss boy. And I did my piss. How was your piss? How are my pissers doing today? Any pissers here today in the chat? I'm a piss boy. I love piss. I love I'm a piss head, you might say. I've been doing it my whole life. I've been pissing since day one, actually. Yeah, there's nothing you could do to stop me from pissing. So, I mean, I guess there's some things you could probably do to stop me from pissing, but I don't want you to do those things because it would get in the way of my health and my my happiness. So, please don't stop me from doing that piss thing. Did everyone settle in? Is everyone here? Is everyone having a nice time after your piss? Who pissed the furthest? Because I personally, I hit a home run. I went to the baseball stadium and I let that stream fly real far, all the way out to the outfield. And I'm very proud of myself. I also got a little bit of a hummus snack. on a cracker. Everyone remember to have a hummus snack. A hummus on a little Mary's Gone cracker or on a little pretzel crisp. You ever had those? They're like flat pretzel chips. Mmm. 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 Delicious hummus. Mmm. Wow. Everyone go eat some food. Go eat a little bit of food, okay? I'm dad today. I'm saying, hey, everybody. Remember to eat your dinner, etc. God, it's so good. I mean, I gotta chew like a little bit more. Enjoy this mukbang for a sec. I didn't really eat enough earlier. That's why I'm doing it now. So delicious. Caitlin, you see? Make sure you do that. Don't forget to have a snack. Okay. Here we go. It's dad time. It's dad time. Here we go.
Why would they have it infected so close to the lab?
Well, Bill used them as a form of defense. Maybe they're doing the same.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, what are these little chips on the ground? You see this? Oh. Sometimes you don't have pita bread, chat, okay? Sometimes you don't, all you have is a little pretzel crisp or a little Mary's Gone cracker. And, you know, what do you want me to do? It's so good. I love hummus. Joel's stuck in this tree thinking about hummus now. Yeah, okay, so where are we going? We got through there. I'm gonna go here, I'm sure. Okay, it's been a lot of zombies. I feel like we're gonna come across people soon. Like, that's how this game normally works. They'll be like, zombies, people. Is this a people zone?
No, nothing.
Yeah,
No.
I'd expect to see someone by now.
I think these people left.
Let's get inside.
I think I can steal some of their stuff because they think they're gone. I got one of those. Oh yeah. Yeah, half a scissor.
Scoot back.
If there's any hummus people, like, I need a hummus sponsorship. You know?
Have you ever been to one of these?
Anyone know Sabra?
Yeah.
Or like,
No, not as a student, at least.
anyone know anyone at a hummus company?
I had Sarah when I was pretty young.
Were you married?
For a while.
Is this where I just came from? I'm a dick. I'm a fucking dick.
Come on.
Rachel, you have a Dunkin' connection? Are you fucking serious? I need to. I need that. Anything at all that I can. If I can be sponsored by Dunkin', that's the dream. Dunkin' is the people's coffee. America runs on Dunkin'. Oh my god, Rachel, that'd be amazing. America really does run on Dunkin'. And I want to have access to their underground tunnels. Okay, we got a
Are you ever
firefly.
gonna find living fireflies?
We better.
Hummus. During the lockdown,
Goodbye.
first lockdown, I every single morning made a hummus toast. Toast, hummus, onion, cucumber, little lemon, red pepper. Ooh. Delightful. Pickle the onions too if you want. Sailor V, are you from Massachusetts?
Hey, what about over there?
That's where, oh. What about over where? Passion, I don't understand that when people hate cucumber. I've seen that before, but I really don't understand. It seems so innocuous. Yeah, I am not paying attention to the game. Okay. Let's,
Yeah, that looks like
let's
a
see.
plan.
I did get so distracted by my hummus that I forgot that I was playing Last of Us Dad Simulator.
It's rusted shut. I'll have to find another way.
Maybe we can get over it.
Lavi B says, you're making me crave hummus. I didn't even know what it tastes like. I don't even know what it tastes like. Can we, Lavi, do you mind if we use that as like a poll quote to show the hummus companies that I'm a good sponsor for them to use, you know what I mean?
All right, not what I had in mind, but it'll do.
Okay. Easy. Ooh, look at that level design. This is great. Ooh, yeah. Can I get a brick? I haven't had a brick in a long time. I'm trying to get bricked up. There's like 4 on the ground. Can I? Come on. Alright, whatever. Passion, that's exactly the kind of email that I'm looking to send. I don't know who to, though.
All right, we're inside.
I gotta
Come on,
pick a
kiddo, give me your hand.
pick a good hummus company.
There you go.
Thanks. Let's look around.
Wait. What are we dipping in ranch in the chat? Fried pickles. We're dipping fried pickles in ranch. Do I need to order Domino's? Do I need to order bad pizza and dip it in the ranch on stream? Is that gonna make you happy? Okay. I'll do that right now. I'm hungry. I'll do it right now. I have friends who live above a Domino's, and I was planning to go over there at some point soon to hang out and like get zooted and play Overcooked or whatever. And I was gonna try it there, but now I guess I gotta do it on stream, huh?
All right, let's see what we got.
Okay. Caitlin, thank you. Okay, the bow. Bow's fine. Let's do the range, I think would be a good one here. The shotgun. Yeah, Passion, do they have ranch in the UK? It seems like it's a very American thing, ranch. Which, by the way, I'd legalize it. Hey, Palapal. Welcome in, Palapal. We're talking a lot about food. Now I'm getting fucking really hungry, actually. Shit. El Diablo. Okay, fire rate. Normalize Palapal Passion. Okay, okay, this thing is gonna be my piercing weapon.
Now there we go.
All right, now there we go. That's right, Joel. That reminded me of the Crashmore. If y'all have seen that, I think you should leave with Detective Crashmore. I like that gun. Can't wait to shoot that thing. Passion, is that what's happening? Is this about to be like my most successful stream because I'm gonna I'm gonna mukbang on stream. I'm gonna eat the pizza dipped in the ranch. I should probably order that right now, honestly. I'll do it. I will do it. No, just as long as no one accuses me of being unprofessional on Twitch, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that wasn't the right thing to make. Oops. Wow, I'm all full on all this shit. Damn, okay, I got. I probably need to up the difficulty, huh? Should I do that? Let's do it. I'm making it harder. Ugh, well, I guess I'll do it at the next, like, moment. Next, like, encounter or whatever. Is this the right zone?
How will they do it?
Do what?
Get the cure from me? You think it'll hurt?
They better not hurt you.
Probably just draw some blood. It don't hurt.
I've gotten shot.
All right.
Cool.
Oh, nice. Bigger bombs. More tools. some rags, some screws. Okay, Ellie, where are we going? Out here?
Yoo-hoo! Fireflies! Cure for mankind over here. Anyone?
Let's keep it down until we figure out what's going on.
Obviously, it's something bad.
Nothing useful.
Ain't nothing here but a bunch of medical mumbo jumbo.
I don't get it.
Looks like they all just packed up and left in a hurry.
Maybe not all of them.
Stay close.
Oh, did we get a sip? Okay, it's sip time. Have a sip. Rachel, thank you for gifting to Leah motherfucker. It's a 50th gift sub. Congrats. It's a great accomplishment. And oh shit, Shayna, I didn't see that. Was that during the piss break? Shayna, thank you for the 10 gift subs. Our wonderful patron Shayna, once again with the generosity. Thank you so much, Shayna. All right, this is, I think, a good place. There's about to be another encounter. I'm gonna up the difficulty. Oh, MF is your initials? Sorry. I mean, it's pretty sick. But while we're taking this, I'm gonna take a 1 minute break here to order this Domino's pizza, and you can all watch me eat it. It'll be really funny. Ready? Be right back. Okay, I'm gonna need some help here. Because I don't know what's about to happen. So I'm looking at Domino's. First off, I'm seeing that they have chicken now. They have pasta at Domino's now? I didn't know they were doing all that. Oven baked sandwiches at Domino's? I didn't know anything about that. I remember cinnamon sticks. Those are good. Okay, I'm going to build my own pizza. Now, hand-tossed, handmade pan, crunchy thin crust, Brooklyn style. What does that mean? What does that mean? What kind of pizza am I supposed to get? What am I supposed to get if I'm supposed to dip this in a sauce? I'm going with you. I'm going with chat on this. Cuz I'm doing this for you. And I've never hand tossed. Okay. I'm going to do a hand-tossed pizza. Robust inspired tomato sauce. That's what I want, or do I want the hearty marinade? Okay, so sauce. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing honey barbecue sauce, ranch. But that's not right. I gotta get that separate. That's gotta be a dip. Okay, topping. I'll do I'm supposed to do like topping, right? Because this is bad pizza. You're supposed to add toppings to it. I mean, it's great pizza Domino's if you want to sponsor me, but other than that. All right, I'm gonna do a pepperoni, jalapenos, olives on half on the right side. Pineapple on the left side. Um, no, maybe I don't need olives. I'll do banana peppers and onions. uh God. Cheddar cheese? Roasted red peppers? Alright, I'm just gonna get a bunch of shit on. Wow, add sauces for dipping. They really do that. Okay, so there's a garlic dipping cup and a ranch dipping cup. That's what I'll get. Special instructions. Do I want it baked? Yes. Oh, jeez. Okay. This is really, there's a lot in this that's really upsetting to me. But you know, let's just do it. No, we got it. Okay. All right. Gonna order this pizza. It's gonna have cheese, sauce, pepperoni, jalapeno, banana peppers, onions, pineapple, black olives, and red peppers. Oh god, I got the garlic dip and the ranch. Okay, we're checking out. Okay. All right, everyone. I'll be right back. This is terrifying, but this is what you asked for. You want me to watch dip the pizza on stream, and I'll do it. I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm gonna put this in, and I'll be right back. Ugh. Oh, jeez. Okay, 1 second. All right, chat. Everyone's gonna be happy. Everyone's gonna be very happy with me. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right, I ordered a Domino's pizza, and I'm gonna dip my pizza in some ranch dressing. And this is, I hope, gonna make you all happy with me. And I don't know, we'll see. I'm really worried I'm gonna have to throw it away. I'm scared. I don't want to waste food.
Bodies. That's good, right?
We found out where they went.
Love the brick. Love to be a brick guy. All right. We're back. Oh, what's this? A little Zoom recorder.
We lost 2 more guards to infected attacks. They're about to go have another goddamn meeting about the safety of this lab. All of our equipment is here. All of our data is here. All the personnel have gotten used to living here. I'm gonna run another test. Otherwise, this incompetence will drive me insane.
Okay, I'm sorry. The chat you're giving me a hard time about toppings. Like, okay, so what's a real pizza to you? Because to me, a real pizza is like a margarita pizza, but not dipping it in ranch. That's where you're gonna get like a purist because I put jalapenos on it. Chat, you're acting crazy. Actually, chat, I think that you're being crazy. And I'm gonna gaslight you now. All right. We'll see. I got a small pizza. So I'll survive if I eat only a little bit. I won't, you know. All right. It's being prepped. Oh wow, they tell you that they're making it. It says Muhammad began prepping your order at 5:53. That's so nice. I'd like to know exactly who is making my freaky pizza. Okay, Ellie. Let's advance the story. Can we advance the story, please? I'm on hard mode now. Oh, I guess I go this way. Do I have any... Can I do these? Oh, yeah, maybe. Interesting. Weapon sway? I'll do the health first. Okay. Ooh, yikes. That's what a clicker looks like, I guess. Sucks. Big bummer. Well, sorry. I mean, ouchie. I know that you love clickers. I don't know if that was pornographic for you to see that. If it was a little revealing, you know? Oh, it's a monkey! Monkey. Hello, monkey.
Ain't clickers.
Yeah. No fireflies either. Well, maybe in all that research, they turned into fucking monkeys.
Just keep searching, we'll find something.
That's 4 pallets of lab equipment all packed up and ready to go. Now, big question is, what do we do with all these guys? They say the tainted batch needs to be put down. You know what I say? I say screw that. Who made a bigger sacrifice than you, right? Anyone deserves to run free out there. Hey, easy! Shit.
Ah, I see. They were experimenting on those monkeys.
It bit me.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
That sucks.
Glad we didn't mess with them monkeys.
He didn't say where they went.
I know, let's just keep looking.
Interesting. Are the monkeys immune? I hope it gives me an update on everyone's names who are coming together to bring this pizza to me. It's telling me that it's in the oven. This is, I gotta say, Domino's really stepped that up. Hashim, what do you mean the Domino's pizza track is fake? Don't do that to me. I just got here. I'm just having Domino's for the first time in years. But I don't know if y'all have seen the pizza turnaround, the YouTube video they made about how they turned it around, but it's one of my favorite YouTube videos. It's a banger. All right, well, this person's dead.
You're looking for the fireflies. They've all left.
Oops.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm dead. Or I will be soon. Got me some time to reflect. Been years that felt like we were... fucking thing was a giant waste of time. I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Come on.
Looking for the others. They've all returned to St. Mary's Hospital in Salt Lake City. You'll find them there. Still trying to save the world.
There we go. We gotta go to Salt Lake City.
Good luck with that.
Do you know where that is?
I know the city.
Is it far?
It ain't close. I mean, horseback.
What? Fireflies?
Get down!
Ah, shit. Why are they always... There's always bad guys.
What the fuck are these guys?
Yeah, why?
It don't matter. We know where to go. Let's get the hell out of here.
God damn it. Okay. Okay, we gotta go to Utah. Oh, fuck! You should not run up on me like that. Oh my god. Oh, fuck you. God damn it. Why'd you do that? Why did you do that? God. I hate when these people come and try to kill me and I have to kill them first. How do they know I was there? Oh, jeez. Okay. That's a headshot. Okay. Oh shit.
Fuck you!
Nice job, Ellie. Okay. Let's see. Can I brick him? Game's definitely on hard now. Should I light him on fire? That'd be kind of fun. I can just pop up right here and get him like that. Oh shit. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Oh, that's a bad guy? Let me just sneak up on you.
Stop fucking here.
Hi. Jasmine, yes, I can use this axe in combat. Would you like me to? I just have to get a little closer. Shot him in the head. Oh, well, there we go. You see, that's the axe. That's what we're talking about. So there we go. I axed him. Oops. But not before he could get me. So now I'm a little hurt. I'm a little hurt. Alright, anyone else I should ask a question to? Let's see. Hello! Oops. Brick! 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 I used the brick, I didn't use the axe. I smashed him in the head, I smanged him. Okay, let's check out the shorty. Maybe let's use the bow. Okay. How do I get downstairs? Oop, bottle. Oop, bullets. Isn't this the way out? Am I tripping? Guess not. Okay. Hey, where do I go? This is... Oh, down here. I see. Oops. Oh. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, Ellie. That was good. Good job. Thank you. Thank you, Ellie. That was nice. I needed that. Oh, bad guy. Sorry. Sorry. You popped out. What are you like? I don't even know what you're doing here. I don't even know what your problem is. Like, why are you trying to kill me and my sweet girl? Just let me live. Let me live my life. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Ellie, can you kill this guy for me? Please. Ellie. Ellie, what are you doing? Oh, my God.
What do you want me to do? What?
Oh, sick. Okay, let's go. Bang. Bing, bang. Oh.
Oh, man. Joel?
I'm gonna need you to pull.
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay, this sucks. This is bad.
1, 2, 3. Here.
Let's get to the damn horse.
Okay. I don't see anyone. Let's go.
Oh, no, wait. Oh, shit.
Joel? How we doing?
Oh, no. Oh, I'm not fine.
Can you handle the window?
I'm not fine. No. No. Come on. Ah.
Come on, move!
Come on, Joel. We're dead. We have to. Oh, my God.
I see you.
Fuck you, guy.
Alright. Just stay here. I'm gonna flank this asshole.
Ellie,
Good job, Ellie.
those were my friends you killed, asshole.
Oh, fuck.
Come on out. You want to do this the hard way?
Well, why are you trying to kill? Thank you, Ellie. Good job.
Bitch!
Fuck. Sip, sip, Cinepus, thank you. Thank you, Cinepus. Everyone take a sip.
I'm okay.
You're not okay, Joel! Now, come on!
Oh, shit.
Move it! There's no one here. Hurry.
Ellie, take care of me, please. Be a good... Oh, no.
You're doing good. Just keep at it.
I'm coming.
Through these double doors.
This sucks.
Here, lean on me.
No.
Well, can you walk?
Yes.
Then fucking walk!
That's good, Ellie. Good point. Oh, God.
Come on. There's the exit. Just a little bit more, come on. Hey. Joel?
Behind you.
What?
Oh, fuck.
Ellie!
Oh, shit. Oh, no, God. Oh, God.
Back!
What's out? Hey!
Oh shit! Oh shit!
You little shit!
Oh, no, you don't do that.
Joel. Here, stand up.
I want to take care of this girl. I want to take care of this girl. I want to take care of this girl.
Go.
It's my daughter, please. Come on.
Swear to God, I get you out of this. You're so singing for me.
You wish.
Come on. Come on, we gotta take care of this, Dad. Come on.
I'll get the door.
Who are these guys? Why are they trying to kill me? I hate this. Come on, Joel. Oh, you want to steal my horse? Yeah, good job, Ellie. Fuck off. Let's go. Come on.
Come on.
Just get the horse.
All right. Can you get on?
You need some milk. It's true. Wow. Can we bandage me up or what? What's going on?
Joel? Joel?
Ouch.
Joel, here. Oh, get up, get up, get up. You gotta tell me what to do. Come on. You gotta get up. Joel?
Is that it? No. I was about to say that's a cute bunny. Good job, Ellie.
This won't last very long.
Fuck. Okay, so am I... Is that it? Is Joel just dead? Oh, let's go, Ellie. Let's go. Okay, we're deer hunting. Okay, great. Alright, cool. Pizza tracker's been updated. Now Faye left the store at 6:07.
Where'd you go? There you
Oh.
are.
Oops.
That was a terrible shot.
Yeah, Ellie definitely just roasted me with that. That's a good point, chat. There's the guy. I have to get closer? Also, what is this deer doing? It's just eating some snow?
Hold it steady.
Oh, too high. Fuck. I've eaten snow before. But it's not enough for a deer. And I guess maybe he's drinking the snow. In a way, in a sense. Okay.
Easy, easy. Gotcha.
Got one. Alright. Chat talking about eating yellow snow. It's the forbidden shave ice. This pizza is gonna be here in 5 minutes, team. Gonna have to pause to eat this pizza. I know that's what you all came here for. Oh, really?
Be careful, Ellie.
Alright. Well, the thing's bleeding. It should die soon.
Hold it steady. Gotcha.
Got him again. Oh, come on, really?
He's fast.
Do I have to headshot him? If I was this deer, I would fuck off a lot further than like a couple yards and then just keep eating the snow. If I had the 2 arrows in me by now, I'd be out. Where'd he go? There he goes. No, I didn't lose the deer, money. Don't worry. I'm gonna find this deer. Hi, the Rye Man ×2. Welcome, first time. Chat, welcome in to the best chat on Twitch. What have we got? Ah, come on. I want to eat this deer. Uh-oh. Lodge, are there people in there?
What is this place?
Uh-oh.
Oh, great. Everything's cool. This place is not creepy at all. Oh.
There we go. Posture check, thank you, Bon Mitel.
Who's there? Come out!
Oh shit.
Hello?
Oh no.
We just want to talk.
I don't like
Any
this.
sudden moves and I put one right between your eyes. Ditto for buddy boy over there. What do you want?
Name's David.
I don't like this at all.
Here's my friend James.
I don't believe you.
We're from a larger group. Women, children. We're all very, very hungry.
So am I. Women and children, all very hungry too.
Well, maybe we could trade you for some of that meat there. What do you need? Weapons, ammo, clothes.
I don't like
Medicine.
this.
Do you have any antibiotics?
We do. Back at the camp. You're welcome to follow us
I'm
back.
not following you anywhere.
Good. Good, Ellie.
Buddy boy can go get it. He comes back with what I need. The deer is all yours. Anyone else shows up...
You put one right between my eyes.
That's right.
Ellie, you should not be drawing that bow for that long. It's gonna make your arm really tired.
Bottles of the penicillin in a syringe. Make it fast. Go on.
I'll take that rifle.
Of course.
Back up.
Good. I'm glad we have the rifle.
It's probably gonna be a while.
It's a good choice.
You, mind if we take some shelter from the cold?
Bring him with us.
Okay, the pizza's here. Okay, everybody. Hold on 1 second. Be right back. Okay, chat. Okay. We're here. I got the pizza. It says on it that it says do your slice. It's oven baked pizza with a side of responsibility. It says that you're supposed to recycle the box. That's nice. That's good for them. Good for you, Domino's. All right. I'm opening wine. I need the wine. All right. Got some wine. Cosmic Roach, that's a good question. So I live in New York City. Why on earth am I ordering and eating Domino's? Chat, would you like to explain or should I? I'll give a brief recap for everyone who just got here. And I'm sorry that I'm not currently playing The Last of Us. I don't know if we need to change the category, but I'm going to do this for a second first. So we have some wine. I do want sponsorship. That is not how we got here, but that is also true, Domino's, if you're watching. If you're watching, please sponsor me. So I do live in New York City. I don't eat Domino's. I eat real pizza. I eat really good pizza when I eat pizza. And I've been spoiled. And so I had no idea that when with most people around the world, this is what pizza means to them. And when that's the case, what you do is you dip your pizza in sauce. All right, that's pizza, I guess. So I've just had this delivered. This is technically pizza. And I'm going to eat it now. And we'll see how this goes. Look at that. Look at that pizza. That looks great. That looks really good. And yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. So this is pizza, and I was told that the way to eat this pizza, this technically pizza, is that you're meant to dip it in garlic sauce. And this is what the garlic sauce looks like. It's like yellow. Why is the garlic sauce yellow? Okay, well, let's get started, I guess. Okay, chat. Here we go.
Go for it. You guys can do it.
Okay, Roy, Benefic, thank you for the gift subs. Thank you for encouraging me to do this. I know this is what you all came here for. So Benefic and Roy, thank you so much for those gift subs. Anonymous, thank you for those other gift subs. Okay, so yeah, this is what chat wanted. Johnny, Starlight, thank you for the gift subs for the mukbang. Here we are. Here we are. I'm going to try just the crust this time. Okay. A little bit better. A little bit better. Just the crust side. Honestly, I think the garlic is just the wrong sauce. I'm going to try this ranch. I'm going to see if that works. This is really fucking up my chances of getting my Italian citizenship. So I qualify for Italian citizenship, but I have to like go in front of a judge in Italy and do all this stuff in order to get that citizenship. But I do qualify. And I think that if they see this stream, they're going to not let me have the Italian citizenship. So this is really a problem. Okay. Okay. Domino's Pizza, ranch. Okay. 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 Interesting. Now, okay. 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 So, okay, let's talk. Let's talk about this. So, that is not pizza. What I just ate has nothing to do with pizza. But as a separate American cuisine, which you can call something else if you want. At American cuisine, this deserves this to living in its this deserves to be considered a part of American cuisine. I don't really know. This is news to me. I was not expecting this. I haven't prepared anything. I was not prepared to actually kind of enjoy that. So this is not pizza. This is like a cheesy, ranchy, cheesy bread situation. I don't know what you want to call it, but that's kind of good. In a really scary way. Someone asked, what do I think about Chicago deep dish? Also not pizza. That's a bread bowl. That's like a soup in a bread bowl. It's not pizza. But this, the ranch dipped Domino's, not as bad as I thought. It changed. I'm changing my mind. Well, I shouldn't say I'm changing my mind. But in an emergency, I can eat Domino's pizza with ranch and I can survive in an emergency. And I mean, I do eat a Domino's once in a while. It's not because when I'm wanting pizza. Only when I'm wanting Domino's. And now I'm thinking that I might add dipping some ranch to the repertoire. You got cinnamon sticks. Those are good. The cinnamon sticks are good. This garlic, this is not, I'm going to try the garlic again. Maybe now that I've changed my mind a little bit. I'm going to try it with the pineapple. And try it with the pineapple pizza. Oh God, I really don't like the texture of this garlic sauce. No, that's bad. That's bad. That's just bad. That's just really bad. Ugh, that's really not good. The garlic sauce, and it looks like sour cum. Have you seen the way this looks? This yellow, like this looks like cum with like some kind of like vitamin deficiency. It looks like rotten cum. It's really bad. The ranch, on the other hand, the ranch is not that bad. The ranch is kind of good. The ranch is kind of good. Honestly, the ranch is pretty good. I'm feeling pretty satisfied. Thank you for the go sip, girl. Does everyone take a sip? I'm having wine. It's helping me get through this. I do have an open mind. I do have an open, you know. Which tip is better? Ranch is beating garlic. It's true. Wow. Whew. This is really, I'm very surprised. I'm going back for more. Now, I'll tell you, my reactions have been pure. I'm not hamming something up for fun, okay? Like I'm not putting this on. This isn't a bit. My reaction to the sour cum dip was very real, and my reaction to the ranch was also real. The ranch is good. Ranch is good. I think I like ranch. And I think we should legalize it. How is Domino's going to sponsor me after I call it sour cum dip? Maybe when they decide to be brave in their marketing campaigns. Mm. Mm. Look, don't you mean Padiddle? I am telling the truth about Chicago pizza. It's not pizza. It's something else. And I'll admit that Chicago hot dogs are better. But I'm seeing if you visit Jacksonville, Florida, you should try Biggie's Pizza. I don't know what would bring me there, but if I ever do go to Jacksonville, Florida, I'll make sure to check out Biggie's Pizza. I'll see what it does. I'm sorry, y'all are tripping about. Chicago pizza is less pizza than Domino's pizza. I'll say it again. Chicago pizza is less pizza. It's less of a true pizza. It is a faker pizza than Domino's pizza. Chicago, you can come and fight me if you want, but yes, it's a casserole. Thank you, Benefic. Chicago pizza is a casserole. It is a soup bowl. It's a bread bowl with like a tomato soup in it. It's not pizza. The hot dogs are better. I'll give you that. The hot dogs are better. But it's not. And whenever I talk about this to Chicago pizza people, they're like, "Oh, you're not going to the right place." Or like, "Actually, the good kind is the thin crust. It's not even that. Like, it's actually really." Then why are you cutting your pizzas through the middle like that? Pizza has a handle. Like, this is the handle. This is more real pizza because it has the handle and you can fold it. The kind that when you cut it down the middle and then you get these pieces that are just like thin, wet slices with no handle on it, that's not a pizza. I would rather eat the Domino's pizza than Chicago pizza. Okay. Let's see, what does the poll say? Domino's pizza resounding lead in the poll. You see that, Chicago? You see that? It's just Chicago. You're the only ones who think this. It's just like it's like a loyalty thing. Like the same poll, Domino's Pizza versus the Chicago Bears, same numbers. I guarantee it. There's no way that Chicago pizza means anything to anyone other than Chicagoans. It's true. That being said, I love Chicago. One of the great American cities. One of the only American cities. You can actually walk around a bit. And I love Pebble Brain. What does Chicago have to be patriotic about? The hot dogs. The hot dogs are better. I'm acknowledging this. I'm throwing it out there. Chicago hot dogs are better. They just are better. Look, let's see if the same numbers. Domino's Pizza versus Chicago Bears. Let's see. You see? Same numbers. Same exact numbers. Now, don't you mean Padiddle? If you want to call Chicago pizza like a Chicago quiche, exactly like Burville says. If you want to call it like a Chicago greasy quiche, call it that. That's great. It's just it's not pizza. Quiche is good. I'm in a quiche phase. I was stayed with a French man in Hawaii. Made a couple quiches, changed my life. I'm big up on quiche now. I keep going back for more. The ranch works. Not the garlic sauce, but the ranch is pretty fun. In an emergency? In an emergency? I can eat this pizza. I can dip this pizza in ranch and I can survive in an emergency. Wow. Okay. It's time to get back to Last of Us, yeah? Right? Are you still interested in The Last of Us, or how many viewers did I lose? Did I lose all the viewers for this mukbang, or did I gain viewers? Okay. Here we go. Okay. Give him time. Wow. Okay. Okay. Honestly, like, not terrible. And just one more for the road. I put in the wrong sauce. I put in the sour cum sauce. I thought I'd give it another chance. I shouldn't have done that. I'm not gonna dip my pizza ever again. I'm only tonight, so I hope that you enjoy watching me do this. I'll send a video. I should send a photo to Siobhan. She'll be proud of me. Okay. Okay. There we go. We did it. We did it. Was Zach going hard for dipping pizza? He was. I mean, everyone who's from places where pizza is Domino's, it makes sense to them. Like, call me a snob. Go for it. Like, fine. That's what else am I supposed to be a snob about? If, like, I'm white, I don't have culture. My only culture is that I'm from New York. That's like the only culture I can claim. What am I supposed to claim colonialism and be like proud of that? No. My culture is I grew up in New York City. So I'm walking here, pizza, bagels, New York Mets. It's about the Mets, baby. So this is what I have to be a snob about. This is my culture. Paulina, what are you talking about? I don't have a New York accent, okay? You think I don't have a New York? What? Because I'm not from Queens and I'm not like full on like hardcore. I'm not like from Queens in 1970. Like, I'm from, yeah, I grew up in Manhattan. I'm sorry, but I say Florida, I say foreign, I say orange, and I say Long Island, and I like. I didn't know I had a New York accent until I went to college. And they were like, you're supposed to say orange. And I was like, that's insane. That's fucking crazy. Ouchie, I think I would get in trouble for playing Miles Morales. I don't think you should pitch me for that. I think that would be bad. I think that would be bad. Okay. It's time to game. Right, I forgot we were in the middle of a really stressful situation.
There. You know, you really shouldn't be out here all on your own.
Passion, don't make me eat British
I want
food.
company.
I see.
Don't do it, please.
What's your name?
Why?
Look, I understand it's not easy to trust a couple of strangers.
Posture check, thank you, Isa.
Clearly care about that. Sure, it's gonna be just fine.
We'll see.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit! Sorry, I forgot I'm not supposed to punch.
You had another gun?
Oh, shit.
Sorry. Hey, I'd really like my rifle back now.
No, you have your pistol.
Hope you know how to use that thing.
I've had some practice.
Oh, here we go, Ellie. Okay. It's us and David now.
What? We have to keep them out.
Okay.
Let's hope they don't find him.
Where's the
Cover the
baddies?
windows.
Okay.
Okay, Ellie. Oh, come on, really? That wasn't good enough? Oh, shit.
Honest before.
I want a dodge button. I want a dodge button. Oh, jeez, I really just got fucked up. Got her. Okay, I forgot to game. I'm so...
You weren't kidding. You're a better shot with that thing than I am.
Yeah, dude, I fucking rock. Oh my god, okay.
Help me with this thing.
I'm all hurt now. Oh, fuck you. Okay, thanks, guy. Oh, I fucked that up. Oops. Yeah, have fun. I forgot that I'm on hard mode. I'm really hurt now. Oh, shit. Headshot. Okay. Fuck. Get cut. Get cut. Oh, shit. It's another headshot. Thank you.
Here's some more ammo.
Thank you for the encouragement. Oh, no, it's a clicker. God damn it. Oh, who's worried about clickers? I'm not.
Keep it up, kid.
Uh-oh. Watch out. Don't come in here. You might get domed. Oh, the guy died? That's not my fucking fault. I don't care. I don't care. That's not my friend. I just met him. Why do I have to restart the game? Is it so that I can dip my pizza? Chat. Sometimes life is about having an open mind. Good job, Mike the Slav. Thank you for putting the quotes around the pizza. That's absolutely true. This is not pizza at this point. But not bad. Not a bad treat. Bearsink says, "Are you obsessed with pizza and dip now?" No. No, I'm not. But in an emergency. In an emergency?
Oh, Lord, there's a whole lot of them coming at us.
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, just keep doing that.
Wow, I'm really just doming all these zombies. Not that one. I shouldn't have spoke. Oh god, I shouldn't have said anything. Oh god, I'm out of bullets. Fuck me.
Way to go, kid.
Can you do anything, guy? This isn't going well. I'm gonna die. Oh god. Okay. No. God damn it. Okay. I was doing great the first time, and then this guy died, and then I had to start over.
Yeah, I see him.
Okay. Shit.
Nice going, kid.
Don't call me kid. Not when I'm shooting people, adults in the face. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Here, take this.
Really? Oh god. Yeah, I'm sure it's a good idea to put it on hard, but yeah, I got a little lost in the sauce, you're right. Okay. Gonna just focus in
Lord,
game
there's
a little
lot
bit.
of them coming at us.
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, just keep doing that.
Go for it. You guys can do it.
Lord, thank you.
Let's game. Fuck.
Here, have the rifle. On your left.
Oh god, there's 2 clickers? Fuck me. I beefed it. Thanks for that. Oh my god, gaming. And that gets me? Fuck you. Okay, we got this. I was really gaming there, was not.
Oh, Lord, there's a whole lot of them coming at us.
Yeah, I see them. That's 2. Fuck. Really? Fuck you. Oh, I don't have time for this. I'm not turning it off hard mode. I should have done better before being halfway through the encounter here.
Oh, Lord, there's a whole lot of them coming at us.
Fuck me.
Yeah, I see him.
There's 1, 2.
Way to go, kid.
3, 4.
You can use this.
Thank you. Give me that.
Nice shot.
Go for it.
There's just too many of them, and this guy isn't doing shit. Thank you for the encouragement. Okay. I mean, was I not doing a pretty good job? That's 1.
Lord, there's a whole lot of them coming at us.
Yeah, I see him.
2. 3.
Nice going, kid.
I can't believe that, like, I was about to win, and then the guy died and I had to stop. There we
There's a whole
go.
lot of them coming at us.
Yeah, I see him.
Oh, do I not have to headshot with this gun? I just have to hit them? Oh, I guess not. Oh my god, give me the bullets! Give me the bullets, guy! Give me the loot! Oh god. There's I don't know if this is possible. Let me see if I can restart the encounter.
Cover the windows.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Really? Oh my god.
Every shot.
Yeah, I know. I fucked up. I'm sorry.
Infected inside.
Oh man, I'm really not doing a good job. Alright, hold on. Gonna stop calling me kid. Okay. Here we go. I'm not gonna turn the hardness down. I'm gonna do a good job. Really?
Take every shot.
Done this before.
You got infected inside.
I've done this before, it's true.
Keep doing that.
Oh jeez.
Go for it. You guys can do it.
You weren't kidding. You're a better shot with that thing than I am. Give me a hand.
Thank you for the black day. CC, I let go of my pride to grow. That's what I did with the pizza dip. Oh god damn it.
Don't let me come in through the windows. More infected on this side. It's a big pack. They must have followed you.
Maybe they followed you and your friend.
Doesn't matter. We're stuck in this together.
Stop calling me kid. I'm saving your life constantly. This fucking clickers everywhere. Oh shit. Oh god damn. Okay.
Oh Lord, there's a whole lot of them coming at us.
Yeah, I see him.
Out of bullets? God damn it.
Here's some more bullets.
Yeah.
Way to go, kid.
I don't see how I'm supposed to do this. I need some more wine. This is really hard. I've never seen this being so hard before. And it's on hard mode, which is good, because I like to challenge myself.
Oh Lord, there's a whole lot of them coming at us.
Yeah, I see him.
Oh, and there's some shit in here?
Yeah, just keep doing that. Way to go, kid.
Okay, okay.
Use this.
Oh, looks like David actually did something.
Screw it. We're getting out of
Yeah,
this.
okay, sick. Great. Awesome. Love that.
This way.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, jeez. Let's go.
Go. I'll block their path. Cover the stairs.
Nice one, David. Okay, guys. I mean, like, that's gaming, no? Is that gaming?
Follow me through here.
Okay.
Is that progress? It looks like progress to me.
Do you know where you're going?
Never set foot in this place.
How was my pizza, Starburst? It was pizza.
It's clear.
Technically.
This way.
Right behind you.
But I learned that in an emergency, if I have to eat Domino's, dipping it in ranch does not make it worse.
Stay close.
Dipping it in the garlic sauce from Domino's, the yellow garlic. Oh, fuck me. All right, no more of this.
Hey, kid, you all right?
More pizza talk.
I'm fine.
More clickers. Get out of there!
Oh God. Okay, sneak time. Oh jeez. Oops. Well, I didn't do that correctly. I didn't do that correctly at all. Really? Oh, Jesus. Oh God, more clickers? Fuck me. Ah! Let's fucking go. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for believing me. I'm sorry that I wasted a few bullets there, but that was certainly real gaming, what we just saw. Can I make some shit? Molotovs? No? Oh, jeez. Nice.
There you are.
Nice shot, dude.
Doors this way.
I miss Joel too. I'm sad that he died.
That was so close.
This guy's not my new
Get up
Joel.
there.
He'd be like, I can be your
That ladder
Joel.
could work.
No, dude. You're not my fucking dad. You boost me?
Here. Come here. Boost me up.
Okay, ready? Here.
This is not my new daddy. This is not my new
Be
daddy.
quick, and you keep a lookout for those things.
He keeps
I
calling
know.
me kid. I still don't trust him. I think he knows that he needs me, you know?
What's going on up there? Everything all right?
Yeah, don't worry.
okay.
Well, I'm being quiet. Like, why are you yelling? Stop it. Okay. Yeah, good point. Ellie is daddy now. That's true. You know, I have not played the DLC, but I probably will. Or what Passion said. Thank you, Passion. I've never played the DLC, and I'm pretending that I've never played the game before. I'm acting like I've never played The Last of Us at all. Which is a part of this performance.
All right. Here we go.
Come on. All right, look out.
Oh.
Come on. Through here.
Where are we? Some kind of mill?
We need to find a way out of here.
Yeah, no shit.
You gotta watch your language.
Okay, old man.
Oh my god, they're all screaming. You're telling me to watch my language. You are not my fucking dad.
Jeez.
You're not my fucking
Looks like someone already
father.
fought those things and lost.
Oh, Lord. I've been looking for these boys. Doesn't matter. You grab their gear. I'm gonna look for an exit.
You're not my fucking father.
Keep your eyes open for anything
Oh.
we can use.
Yeah, I got plenty of shit here.
See anything?
It's a dead end. How on earth did they use this building?
So what do we do?
We hold our ground.
Is there any other choice?
We die.
Great.
Get ready.
Really? Oh god. Well, where do we go? How do they know? I'm stressed, man.
You hear that? They're on the roof.
I know. To your left.
Oh, fuck me. In the dick.
On your right.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
You will not take me.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Never mind. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, how do I dodge? There's no dodge button in this game?
We're doing fine.
It doesn't feel like it.
Here come more.
How many of these things are there?
Gotta heal, bro.
No idea. Just keep at it. Kid.
Thank you, Yuka. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing. Ruining people's dicks and balls left and right. Let's go. Oh, jeez. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Gotcha. Okay, I took 3 shots, but I gotcha. Where's the bad guys? Okay. I really don't like that. They can do that. Next one who comes here is gonna die. Let's do that. Let's get one of these. Oh shit.
That doesn't sound
Where are those big fucking guys?
What? Oh, come on. Fuck me. Oh, jeez. Is my mind still out here or what? There we go. Whoa, psych. I'm not doing bad. I'm not doing bad. That, like, I deserve to be playing on hard mode. I'm sorry, that was cool, and I did a good job. And I'm proud of myself, and you should be proud of me.
Yeah.
I killed the bloater.
Oh, I think we did it.
Like we killed him?
Oh, don't sound so disappointed.
Hey, David's not doing shit. I'm using my mind gun up here.
Check the bridge.
Using the mine. Using the fire. I'm doing okay. Thank you for the pat on the back, everyone. Oh, I got full rifle ammo too. Look at that. Hard mode.
Listen,
Thank you, everybody.
No infected.
no infected. What'd I tell you? All right, let's head on back. Check on that buck of ours. Well, you handled yourself pretty nice.
I'm drinking some red wine.
I'd say we
It's given to me as a
a
gift.
pretty good team.
I don't really know much about it. It's
We
okay.
got lucky.
Lucky? No. No such thing as luck. Now, you see, I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Sure.
Did you follow me, guy?
And I can prove it to you. Now, this winter, that's been especially cruel. A few weeks back, I sent a group of men out to a nearby town to look for food. Only a few came back. They said that the others had been slaughtered by a crazy man. And get this, he's a crazy man traveling with a little girl.
Don't like this shit.
You see, everything happens for a reason. Don't get upset. It's not your fault. I'm just a kid.
I don't like this at
Name's
all.
Lower the gun.
I don't like this at all.
No way, David. I'm not gonna let her go.
Lower.
Don't like this at all. Thank you, money. Yes, eat shit.
Now give her the
I
medicine.
really don't like this.
The others won't be happy about this.
Yeah, well, that's not your concern.
Wait, he's redeeming himself? He's not gonna try to kill me now?
Move the fuck out of the way.
You won't survive long out there. I can't protect you.
Wow. No, I don't believe you. This is one of those situations where it's just like, you know, when all hits the fan, like, what is left of us as humans? And what's left of our humanity? What is the last of us?
Let's get out of here.
Part 1. Thank you, Juice, for the subscription. Thank you for being here.
Come on.
Wow. This is really the last of us. So she's looking for medicine. Does that mean George is
No.
okay?
George alive? Oh, George is fine.
I only managed to get a little bit of food. But I did get this.
Shave him.
Move your arm.
Uh-oh. He's still hurt. Ellie, you did a great job stitching up George.
Here we go.
George is your father who got hurt.
Sorry.
Yuka, I'm dipping pizza. I'm doing it. This was the challenge of this this stream.
You're gonna make it.
Yeah. Damn, he's really dying, huh? So, Lesbian Shrew, George has been sick for like a little while now, a couple weeks. He's been, he got stabbed and then got infected. And she saved him. And there are these adult men who are trying to get them. He's hurt and sick. Yeah, I'm alright. He's definitely infected. That's definitely the deal. I'm not gonna let Ellie get hurt. And to be clear, Yuka, I'm dipping Domino's, which is hardly pizza, but
More horse tracks down the fucking street. She's here.
Hey, I got her!
oh fuck this. Let's go.
Get your ass over here!
Good job. You too?
What are you waiting for? Shoot her!
But David said...
Fuck David!
No!
Shoot her next!
Let's fucking go.
Let's go, boy.
Let's go, boy. Oh shit. Here we go, boy. Let's go, boy.
Don't let her through! Aim for the horse!
Oh fuck you. You're gonna grab onto my horsey? If they hurt my horse. If they hurt my fucking horsey. If they hurt Joel, my horse,
These guys really want me
I'll be
dead.
very, very upset.
Come get me, you motherfuckers!
That's right, Ellie. Let's go. Oh, come on. You hit me? No, I'm drawing them away from George. Don't shoot the horse.
Oh man. No.
Not Joel. Rest in peace, Joel.
Right there!
What?
By the
Oh,
horse.
fuck me. Stabbed you in the dick. Alright, I gotta just get away from these people, huh? Need some bullets. This is stressful, man. Alright.
Really, Tony? David said he wants her alive. He doesn't get to make that call. James told me it's preserved in the universes. How many of our guys were killed there? Oh, shit. I didn't know that was her. Screw David then.
Y'all need to stop trying to kill this little girl. Like, I'm gonna kill you first. I didn't tell you to follow me all the way here. Like, ugh, these fucking boys. Men. You know what I mean? Like, go look at that.
I can't grab him, huh? Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I'm gonna start over. I'm sorry. I didn't know that when you're playing as Ellie that you can't do the grab thing. But that makes sense, because she's smaller. Does that count as a death? I think, kinda.
You trying to toy with me?
Oh, fuck me. Oh, that works. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah? What did you see? You wanna tell your friends? You wanna tell your friends? Tell your friends about me?
She's over here.
Oh, where? Where am I? I'm sorry, where am I? You wanna tell your friends? Is that what you wanna tell your friends about where I am? Go ahead, tell them.
Hey, she's over here!
Oh fuck, wrong thing. My bad. Oops, my bad.
I got you now!
Yeah, but fuck you. Okay, fine, I'll just shoot you. Sorry. Oh, whoops. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh jeez, give me the brick. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, guy. Okay. Let's see. Yuka, you got a dick stabbing clip? Thank you very much for that. That's really what I'm here for. I'm here to stab people in the dick. Save my daddy George. Okay. Oh yeah, where? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Probably. Let's go looking for the girl. Where do you think she is? Huh. I wonder where that little girl is. Hello. Oh God. Oh fuck. Okay. My bad. I thought that I was close enough to stab him in the head. I'm sorry. Okay. Just gonna have to. Sorry. Sorry, chat. I thought I was close enough to stab him in the dick, and I wasn't. I haven't learned all the rules about playing with Ellie. I haven't learned all the rules yet. Where's the bad guys?
Where'd they go?
Where did they go?
Anything?
I see a bad guy. Okay. One of these. I could use like a brick, I think. Oh shit, that wasn't a headshot? I'm sorry, I killed that guy at least, okay. Oops. Oopsie. Maybe missing shots like that, that's not a good, it's not pro gaming.
Okay. Where do we go?
Does the trick. The way that guy just yelled. That was kind of silly. Okay. Should we check the bathrooms? Maybe there'll be some treats. Any treats? Thank you, Paulina. Thank you for the GGs. I hope y'all appreciate that I'm, you know, very new to professional gaming. Particularly shooters are not something I've ever really played before. So, me pulling it together to shoot people in the head like this, it's for you. And it's something that I wouldn't have been able to do if it wasn't for you watching me and supporting me and sending me your likes and subscribes. You know, so it's really you who's winning. Thank you, Yuka. Yeah, and it was because I took the right gun, thanks to you.
Nature track. Okay, that should get me out of here. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, don't fall in the water. Don't fall in.
All right, she can't swim.
Oh shit.
I mean, this is beautiful. Let's take a second and just say, wow. 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 Wow, you look at that. Wow. Wow. Wow, look at all that. Wow. Wow, beautiful. That looks nice. Wow. What else can I make? I'll make a health kit. Anything up here? Any treats? I really need to I need to turn over every stone while I'm playing on hard mode. Gotta pick up everything. Okay.
Not this way. How the hell do I get out of here? Jeez.
What did that do? Oh, I see. Cleared the path.
That's the way back. Hang in there, Joel.
I started Kingdom Come Deliverance, Kochia, and I did not get very far. I thought it was just a little bit clunky. But I enjoyed it. I'll give it another
Cover the
go.
grounds. Make sure she's not hiding somewhere over here.
I'm definitely hiding somewhere over here. You silly guys. Come on. Oh, that didn't light him on fire? Ah, shit. Okay. That was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. That was a waste.
Whoa. Hey, she's over here. Behind the counter.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. I didn't want to survive that encounter anyway, because I wasted my thing.
Cover the grounds. Make sure she's not hot. Chick over there.
Dude, I'm definitely hiding over here. You should come check this out. Over here.
heard something.
Yeah.
You sure
Me
did.
too. Be careful.
Hey, she's over here!
You're gonna pay for this, you little shit.
Yeah, well, your friend just got shot in the head, so. And you got shot. And you're dead as well. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Okay? Oh, shit, I thought you were all dead, my bad. Whoops, 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 whoops. Okay. Oh, there's a guy there? Fuck me. Oh, jeez Louise. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Pay for this, kid!
I know. Oh. Yikes. Yikes. What do we think about hard mode? I like it. I'm enjoying the challenge. Are you getting sick of watching me dying, or is it fun? That's my question. I appreciate the challenge. I was definitely having a little bit too easy of a time a second ago. Okay, good.
Cover the grounds! Make sure she's not hiding somewhere over here.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it too. Be careful.
What was it?
Nothing. Animals or some shit.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Fan out.
Toy with me?
Yep. There we go. Okay. Gaming. I'm a gamer. That means I game. That's what gaming means.
I got nothing over this way. Here either.
Yeah, nothing over here. Nothing over there. Look at that.
Hey,
Here we go, asshole!
And now I just gotta kill him before he kills me. Okay, I took two, but that's okay. Alrighty, let's go. We get a W in the chat.
How do I get out
Get a
of here?
W for a little lesbian in the chat. Thank you. We love Ellie. Sorry, spoilers. My bad. Forgot to. I shouldn't be outing Ellie like that. That's up for her to
I don't want to get trapped in
talk
here.
about when she's ready. Using the Molotov. I love how they're like, don't you know that they killed a few of our guys? There's no way it's gonna happen to us. Anything up here? Any stuff? Any treats? Any pieces of candy? Nothing up here? Nope. Okay, I guess it's on hard mode. Okay. a bomb. Oh my god, fuck you. Okay, whatever, I'm running.
Got her.
Oh shit. That doesn't kill him? Come on.
Got it.
Where are they? Oh, come on. Fuck you. Oh, jeez. Okay. I really should not try to hand-to-hand these guys, huh? Okay.
I see her.
Oh, great.
Gotcha. You ain't going.
Yeah, I'm gonna bite you, and then I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna shoot you in the head. Keep doing that.
I see her. Watch my back.
Yeah, stop doing this. Stop trying to tackle a little girl.
Where's the exit?
Where's the exit? This one? Alright, well that worked. Oh shit.
Relax. Keeping you alive here. There you go.
No, he's hitting me with the shush shush shush. God damn it. It's a great question, Paulina. Do these guys get infected when she bites them? Oh my god. Damn, these are those same cannibals. He says, but this is why you don't trust these guys.
How are you feeling?
Super.
Here. You should eat. I know you're hungry. You've been out for quite some time.
Dude, absolutely not.
What is it?
It's deer.
I don't believe you.
With some human helping on the side?
No. No, I promise. It's just the deer meat.
Why would I trust you?
You're a fucking animal.
It's awfully quick to judgment. Considering you and your friend killed how many men?
They didn't give us a choice.
And you think we have a choice? Is that it?
Yeah, you don't have to be attacking me.
You kill.
I just killed like 7 more people.
And so do we. We have to take care of our own, by any means necessary.
Fuckers.
So now what? You gonna chop me up into tiny pieces?
I'd rather not. Please tell me your name.
You're so full of shit.
On the
I'm eating the
contrary,
pizza. You're right, I'm eating the pizza dip.
I've been
Not the
quite
garlic
honest with
though.
you.
This isn't a really great time to eat.
Now I
is
think
it?
it's your turn. It's the only way I'm going to be able to convince the others
Convince them of what?
that you can come around. You have heart. You're loyal. And you're special.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. Let's go, Ellie.
You stupid little girl.
Oh my god. You're a cannibal.
You are making it very difficult to keep.
I'm wondering why I haven't met any
What am I supposed
adult
to tell the others
women
now?
in your party. You know?
Ellie.
How come I haven't seen any women here? I wonder. Maybe it's
tell them
because
that
you're eating
Ellie is the
a human
little girl
carcass.
that broke your fucking finger.
How did you put it? Tiny pieces. See you in the morning, Ellie.
I really don't like this. Oh, here we go, Joel. Here we go, George.
Ellie?
George time. George is back. Damn, dude. This is savage. Brutal. Brutal game. Should I call it here, or is this... What should we... Should we keep this rocking for a little bit longer? Is this a good time to stop? What do we think, chat? Okay. I mean... All right, let's take a potty break and then I'll come back. Might as well. It's Saturday night. I'm having some wine. Let's do it. I just need a quick little break. Everyone take a little potty break and I'll see you in a minute. See you soon. Okay, I'm back. Just threw out my pizza. I finished eating the pizza. I ate the whole pizza and I finished the ranch. So I want you to all be proud of me. I opened my mind. I tried something new. I ate a Domino's pizza with a dip. I don't know what to do with that garlic sauce. You know, I think, yeah, all I need actually, I mean, I have Ken, I just don't have a jar. So I can go get a jar. And then I can put Ken in the jar with the Domino's garlic dipping sauce. If that's what you want. No, it's not what you want? Okay, well, I don't know, some people are into that kind of thing. Let's get back into the game though. I'm ready to game, personally. I do like The Last of Us Part 1. It's a good video game experience. I didn't miss anything while I was gone, did I? Juice 2004, the last sub, and I already thanked Juice 2004. All set.
Ellie!
Oh, I have all my stuff.
Where'd she run off to?
I'm gonna have to save her from these cannibals. Ellie! What? What? Oh, come on. I didn't even know you were here. Whatever. you?
I got you. Yeah, let's go check it out.
So many of these fuckers. Sorry. Okay, where's the bad guys? That was pretty savage, wasn't it? Really just blew those guys up with a bomb. Damn, sucks to suck. I could really use a brick. That's what I really would like to use as a brick, actually. Very fun, I think. Okay, well, I don't have a health kit. Take another one of these bombs. Did I just kill all of them with that bomb? No.
That's him, all right.
What is it?
Okay.
You see something?
Where is she? One way or another, you're gonna tell me!
You are gonna pay for that!
Oh, that's a headshot. Wow. Alright, that worked out pretty well. Give me these nuts and bolts. Here we go. Come on. I saw there was one more guy I didn't kill, huh? Hmm. There's never a brick or a bottle when you... Oh, come on.
Finish him off! Get him still! Oh, shit!
I'm not gonna stand still, you dick.
Me.
Let me go. I'll fuck you up.
Okay, Daddy Joel, here we go.
You wait here. Now, the girl. Is she alive?
What girl? I don't know no girl.
Wow.
Focus right here, right here.
Nice one, Joe.
I'll pop your goddamn knee off. The girl.
She's alive. She's David's newest pet.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good.
In the town.
Okay.
Now you're gonna mark it on the map. And it better be the same exact spot your buddy points to. Mark it.
It's right there. You can verify it. Go ask him. Go on. I tell you, I ain't lying. I ain't.
Shh, 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 shh.
Fuck you, man. He told you what you wanted. I ain't telling you shit.
That's all right. I believe him.
No, wait!
Damn, savage.
Wake you
That was pretty sick, Joe. That was pretty nice. Nice move. Oh, no. Yes, let's go, Ellie. Come on, fight.
I warned you.
Oh no.
I'm infected! I'm infected!
Really?
So are you.
Oh, so it does.
Right there. Roll up my sleeve.
So it does infect him when she
Look at
bites
it.
him. Interesting.
I'll play along.
What'd you say? Everything happens for a reason, right?
What the hell is that?
She would have turned by now. It can't be real.
Looks pretty fucking real to me.
Classic Ellie. Great job. Wow, that's a human. That's not good. You gotta stop fucking killing humans. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Ellie.
Shit. Oh my god. What the fuck is wrong with these people?
Good job, mine gun. Absolutely. Uh-oh.
I need a gun.
Yeah, you do.
Okay. I can do this.
A med kit. What else? No? Is she 14? I thought she was younger. Okay. Well, regardless, she's doing very good. For an adult or a child.
Infected. What? The girl. She's infected and she got out.
This is bad, David.
I need you to round up everyone who isn't armed and get them clear out of here. We're gonna find that girl. Kill her.
Oh my god. I'll take the kids to the shelter.
That is a woman. There are kids, it seems,
Tired of this shit.
and
Cross
women.
the line, it's time.
I've been saying this for months.
We've indulged him enough. This girl killed our men. Now she's infected.
Let's clean this mess up, then we can have a town meeting. Put its leadership up to a vote.
Should I stab him in the head? Yeah, probably. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Right here!
Well, where are you?
We'll keep searching.
Hey, over there.
I heard something.
Yeah. What the hell was that? What you got?
Damn thing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna not engage these guys, I think. I don't have enough stuff. Gotta just escape.
Over here, you!
Spooky.
They're everywhere.
Hmm.
Watch yourself.
I just need to be giving these guys the slip, right?
Which way?
Right? Gotta be doing the classic slip, or no? Should I stab him? I should stab him. Okay. One less guy. Stab me in the dick. Stabbed him in the dick. And we're happy.
I got nothing over this way.
Yeah, well, I stabbed your friend in the dick and he's dead. Died from a dick stabbing. Thank you, Yuka, for adding to this dick stabbing supercut. Where do I go? I thought that was the right way, what I just did.
Same here.
Oh my god. Hi. Sorry. Thank you for the Black Day. A very welcome Black Day in this very tense moment. I'm trying to save my girl Ellie. Sometimes you gotta just take control of the situation. The bell is a lot.
Go for it. You guys can do it.
Oh, there's a bad guy.
That's gotta be her.
Yeah, that's gotta be her.
This place is a damn maze.
Hello. Stabbed in the dick. Another classic dick stabbing by Ellie. Very good, very good. Oh. Oops. So we've been gaming. Guess we've been gaming tonight. Plug this one in. Classic gaming. Thank you for the resub, Carrie Berry, for the dick stabbings. I appreciate that. Stay tuned for hopefully a few more of those dick stabs. I do wish they would just show you a little bit more detail, maybe. Just zoom it in a little bit more. That's where I was going. You need to hit me to that. You see, these guys could have just left me alone, and I wouldn't have to stab them in the penis.
Relax, not fighting anybody. I'm saying we can have a real situation here.
I've been biting plenty of people, dude. You're wrong.
Stay focused. Find her.
Okay, gotta really do some real Metal Gear shit over here. Let's just do that.
Anything?
Is that your little girl?
Just stab you in the neck. Oh shit, really? You shot me? Oops. Get down, Ellie. Jesus Christ. Oh god, this isn't good. Okay, I gotta leave. I didn't want to do it like that. I shouldn't have done it like that. Oh, that didn't hit? There we go. Okay, not a lot of bullets. Not great, not great, not great. Okay, I got... Oh, fuck. God damn it. Okay, gotta fucking heal. Oh, shit. Oh, they were flanking. Okay, that's the last of my bullets. Fuck. Whew. All right. Gotta break it up now. Okay, I got one bullet. Damn, I did not need to do what I just did. To avoid them. Okay, but thank you. Yes, this is pro gaming moments here on the stream today.
Where do I go?
Hard mode got turned on. Where do I go, Ellie? That's a good question. Damn, we had to get isolated in fucking Colorado.
Where are they?
It's beautiful, but it's slow. Hey, money, that's nice. That's very nice. Hard mode turned on. Classic. Classic stuff right there. Gorgeous. Okay, go in here. You gotta close the windows, you silly people. Silly cannibals. You can't leave a window open during a blizzard. This is crazy. Can I get some stuff or no? Ooh, that's a little piece of candy. This really looks like an environment that's gonna have a big fight in it. How did I know?
How did you do it? That's all right. There's nowhere to go. You want out? Gonna have to come get these keys. I know you're not infected. No one that's infected fights this hard to stay alive.
I gotta get those keys.
Yeah, I gotta go get those keys.
So what is it, Ellie? I gotta admit, you had me back there. I heard that. There you are.
In the slip.
Enough of this, Ellie.
Got him. Oh. Not good enough. Oops.
That was good, kid. It's gonna be all right.
That's not good. I don't want that. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Okay. Slip.
Oh, you keep surprising me.
Mind gun. Mind gun.
Come around.
Slip.
But it's too late now. Oops.
Slip. Stabbed him in the dick. Let's go.
There you are, Ellie.
Where'd he go? Oh, God. Oh, God. I didn't see him that time. Okay. We're good. We're good. Where is he though?
Careful now.
Maybe he starts running like this.
Ah, the art of distraction.
Slip. Got him. Stabbed. Ellie, you gotta get him in the dick. Gotta stab him in the dick. Emo God, that's where his dick is. Alright, well. Ooh, candy.
This is pointless. I can't see a thing.
Just keep searching. Come through here, we gotta catch her.
We should be guarding the shelter. We got a detective running around the town and we're guarding the damn exit.
Look, the kid is deadly. We don't know where she's gonna turn up next. Keep your eyes and ears open. Holy shit! Come on, fan out! No shit! Keep searching!
Thank you for the nice shot, Marit.
I got nothing over this way!
That was close. He almost spotted me.
Here he is, right here.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, god damn it. Just use my hands, use my big dad hands. Let's get out of here for a second. Okay. I didn't know that that guy was gonna see me. Like, I didn't see him, so. Nope, I don't see him.
See him! He's not over here!
Oops. Yuka, why are the other mods bullying you? What happened? No bullying, okay? Mods. I'm focused. I can't keep... I'm really gaming right now. I can't, you know, I can't make sure that... If I need to mediate, I need to do it later. I'm truly and deeply gaming at the moment. Oh, geez, there's a bad guy right there. Alright, well, I'll just shoot him with the rifle. Oh, there's another guy? Shit, I thought that was the end of them. My bad. Who mods the mods? That's the real question. Where did I go? I'm in this little container. Oh, hi. Coming down here. Yeah, hi. Thanks for coming to join me, guy. Stupid ass.
Keep searching.
Yeah, keep searching. Where's everyone? Why don't I just do one of these? Hi. Oh yeah, it's come see what happened to your friends. What do you think happened? That's crazy. Who would have done something like that to your friends? It's crazy. Hello. Oh wow, I'm full on ammo. Pistol on hard mode. Thank you, Rachel. I really appreciate that. Kenzie, welcome back. What concert did you go to? I am killing men at the moment. It's a little intense.
What is this? Where the hell is Ellie's stuff here?
The Pretty Reckless. I don't know what The Pretty Reckless is, but I hope it was great. And that people were enjoying it and not just on their phones. Because the concerts have been crazy lately. It's been a different energy. I hope it's been good. Okay. Big halls. Damn, this is just meat, huh? Yikes. Hello, Megs. Thank you for that sip. Oh man, I'm really drinking this wine, huh? I'm drinking wine and a kombucha. Oh yeah. Delish. Do we have enough people for a Fall Guys on a Saturday night?
Oh, Christ.
Because I'm a little over this cannibalism. But I've also been gaming for a long time now. Maybe we'll just do one.
I gotta find her.
Yes, Bonmitao, I am definitely planning to finish this winter story first. I'm not gonna stop this. Wow, stop bullying Yuka. Mods, I can't have you bullying each other. I gotta focus on the game. I gotta zoom in on this game now. Okay, Ellie, come on. You gotta kill this guy. Oh, jeez.
I knew you had heart. You know, it's okay to give up.
Why are you beating up this teenage girl?
No shame in it.
No, I'm going to crawl forward.
I guess not. It's not your style, is it? You can try begging.
Fuck you.
You think you know me? Huh? Well, let me tell you something. You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Got him. Got him.
Stop! Stop!
Oh.
It's me. It's me. It's me. Look.
Coca.
It's me.
Excellent. Excellent timing. Okay, let's go. Nice job, Ellie. Fuck, that was tough. It's okay now. Wow, Money, you really did. You nailed that timing. Cheers. Oh, she's just shocked. She can't even hear him. She's a changed woman now. Baby girl. Sweet girl. She deserves to be a child. She deserves childhood, but this world has taken it from her, you know? All right, everybody. We made it through the winter.
Ellie! Ellie! Did you hear me?
No. What?
Look, hospital. This is where we get off.
Damn, I'm almost done with this game, huh? All right. Wow. Okay, we got through winter. That was a lot. This has been lovely. So should we play Fall Guys? Huh? Might be able to finish in the next one. I've had a little bit of wine, and it seems like the team wants to play a little Fall Guys. So why don't we do that? I'm gonna kick it to a quick break, a little toilet potty break. I'll reset, and I'll drop the room code. Money, thank you for the gift sub to Emo God. Carrie Berry, thank you for the resub for the dick stabbing skills. And Kenzie, welcome back, and it's been the 5th month. How fantastic! Oh, what do we have? We have a album of the day from Emo God, or sorry, Lucy redeemed album of the day with the word emo. That got a little bit confusing. Bon Mi Tao, that's exactly, you're absolutely right. You did see me in the Halloween 2018 movie. I was in there. And now I'm here, believe it or not. So let's do album of the day now for Lucy. But what should I do for album of the day? It's got to be emo. Let's see. All right. My album of the day, my emo album of the day will be You might think that I would choose You might say that I would choose a classically emo genre. Fuck, like cuz I could say American football, but that wouldn't be anything exciting for you. And I could do Elliott Smith would be a good choice, actually. Cosmic Roach. This is a tough one. Well, let's see. Is Black Country New Road obscure enough for me to do that? I mean, they're pretty new, and I feel like they had a big moment. Cause like everyone knows Neutral Milk Hotel. That's not gonna do anything for anyone. But like, did everyone listen to the Black Country New Road album? It's my favorite emotional music in a very long time. Does that do the trick? Cause like this song is really good. This song is really, really good. I'm gonna play it while we take our little potty break. Everyone have a good time.